All right, so new kid on the block, and every time we have a new kid on the block, we want to test it, to some of the other ones that are already pre-existing that have been around for years. What's the new kid on the block? The American Press. Now this kind of falls somewhere in between the Aeropress and the old traditional standby, been around for years, French press. How does it differ? Well, it's got a plunger with a rubber gasket on it, very much like the Aeropress has the rubber plunger, or plunger with a rubber gasket on it. That's where I'm going with that. The difference with this is, and this is a little bit like the Espro French press, where you put the ground coffee inside of a vessel, as you can see. And it's got a fine metal mesh here, and an even finer metal mesh on the top of the plunger. And a rubber gasket that seals against the vessel that the coffee and the water are in. You are actually forcing the water through the coffee in a different fashion than you would be with the French press. And the same with the Aeropress. It's got you can use the metal or the paper filter, which is fine and really gets out a lot of the silt and stuff out of it, whereas the French press, you get a lot of the silt and the fines and all that in the bottom of the pot. So this is also a press where you press it down. After it sits for 4 seconds, you press it over your cup and you kind of go slowly, and when I get some water in there, it presses a lot easier. This one the same way. This you're supposed to, they recommend pressing it for 2 minutes. So 2-minute press, that's a long press, or a minimum of 1, but they prefer 2. This one, let it sit for 4 minutes. These sit for just a matter of seconds. This one, 4 minutes, and that's how it steeps. All you're doing is separating the coffee from the water on this one, and this was actually pressing the water through. So that kind of gives you the basics on it. We've got the kettle going on here. We've got coffee going, and speaking of coffee, we are doing the Espresso Republic Raven's Dark Roast today. So I kind of like the dark roast. That's one of my favorites. Got the scale going. We're going to weigh it out, and I'll talk about the ratios later. So what do you say? Taste test? Let's try it. Okay, so here's what I used ratio of water versus grams of coffee. On the French press, 54 grams of coffee to 860 grams of water. On the American press, I used 22 grams of coffee to 12 ounces of water. And last but not least, on the Aeropress, I used 8 ounces of water to 14 grams of coffee. So, what's left? The moment of truth. Let's just see. This you can actually drink out of this if you really want to. That's what they say. It's a cleaner cup. Just in the pouring, I can see it's a cleaner cup than the French press. Let's try the French press first. Bon appetit. Tastes good. Nice cup of coffee. Whoa, different. A lot stronger. Of course, you could change the water versus coffee, and that would change that. A lot more bold. Aeropress, your turn. This is a little brighter and fruitier. The American press, I would say, is the boldest of them, and that could have been the ratios that we used. This one is medium in between. It's not quite as bold with still a fruity flavor, and it's getting fruitier as it cools. They're both good. They are different though. They are very different from one another. And it could have been the proportions that I used. Maybe you want to buy all three off of our website and try it yourself and let me know. Just saying. Maybe you want, maybe, yeah. Website, check it out. They're all there listed. So that's the American press. First time I've ever used it. It's very interesting. It is a, I didn't mention, this is a plastic double wall container. Stainless mesh, plastic, and glass and stainless over here on the traditional French press. Check it out on our website. Let me know what you think of the video. I always like the comments, and send in any suggestions for any videos you would like us to do, and don't forget to subscribe.